What is good, internet? It is Spirit of Paradox here, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be covering Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, and yet again it's another boring issue with lots of exposition, with a small fight scene that has no substance to the story at hand. And then in the next issue we're gonna get the exact same thing over and over again. If you guys are fans of the Ultimate Universe, this is the channel you want to be on. We cover the original and the boring new one if you're into it. And so, if you are, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Let's begin. The story begins in Wakanda, and we see Billy, Miles' little sister, has wandered off inside of the temple. And then she comes across this green glowing orb. But somebody finds her and says, "Curiosity killed the cat, little one." And as she tries to activate this green orb, she is stopped. And we find out it's Aurora and Killmonger. So, let's make sure we keep a close eye on you so you don't get into any more trouble. Aye, she is quite the little escape artist, Aurora. That's because this is no place for children, Eric. And with so much of our resources and focus placed elsewhere, it's only natural she'd slip through the cracks, says Black Panther. You are too harsh, brother. Besides, it is not every day that an outsider appears within the walls of our kingdom, and a baby at that. So many questions remain. You are correct, Shuri. Forgive me for my bluntness. These are trying times indeed. And Aurora asks, have we learned any more of where she came from? My scans remain incomplete, but there is no doubt that the child has residue energies that match those of the Maker. A weapon, perhaps? I know our enemy to be cruel, but to use a child? No, not a weapon, T'Challa. Something different. The energy readings more closely resemble a teleportation algorithm than a weapon of war. It's tied to a more prominent and sophisticated energy signature, but my team has yet to fully decrypt the information. And Killmonger adds, the Maker and his forces are known to be inventive in their terror. Are we sure that this is not a new weapon? No, Killmonger. I believe my sister is right. These readings do not behave as weapons would. It would appear closer to portal tech. To serve what possible purpose? I don't yet wish to confirm. Now is not the time for hesitance, sister. Well, teleporting energy is just the first piece of the puzzle. I think this is not a weapon, but rather an invitation, or perhaps a key. Aurora asks, an invitation to what? A key to unlock what? I cannot imagine their contents would contain anything beneficial. I can't say for certain just yet, but I believe it will be used to unlock new beginnings, as Shuri shows Black Panther a potential future. And Ultimate Wasp says in the next page, Doom and Iron Lad think she might be able to let the Maker out of his coronal quarantine early. Which means your sister could be the key that unlocks the end of the world. But she's only 11 months old, says Miles. And the thing is, Ultimate Giant Man is the one driving them to Wakanda at the moment, and he's listening to this conversation, and he says in his head, poor kid, he's so scared for her, but he's trying to hide it. I can relate. Doesn't this thing go any faster? We're going as fast as we can, Miles. They don't call it a hidden kingdom for nothing. Everything takes longer in this universe, man. We've been waiting around for weeks. Ultimate Wasp explains to him, you were supposed to be waiting around, lying low. Instead, you went out on multiple occasions to foil muggers and bank robbers. Did you think we wouldn't find out? The papers are calling you the Jersey Spider-Man. Doom was so pissed, by the way, says Ultimate Giant Man, and his dialogue continues. Jan and I have been his handlers since we found him swinging around Brooklyn a few weeks ago, which is new for us, handling people. Usually, I'm the one being handled. He came here, to a war zone, to save someone he loves. Like I said, I can relate. And Miles explains, you dumped me in a studio apartment in Trenton. I'm the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. What did you expect me to do? TV, says Giant Man. This universe don't even got Crunchyroll. What am I supposed to watch? And Giant Man asks, you use sushi as TVs in your universe? Bro, what? And Ultimate Wasp asks, what's a Quinjet? Aren't you this world's Avengers or something? Shouldn't you have like a Quinjet or a teleporter? I mean, you couldn't even get us a direct flight. That 8-hour layover in Lagos was a nightmare. We actually do have a teleporter, but it uses a lot of energy. Tony says that stuff's not cheap, says Giant Man. I'm just saying, my Black Panther got me from Brooklyn to Wakanda in like an hour. Ultimate Wasp lets Miles know, look, we're not the Avengers, we're the Ultimates. We have what we have. The Ultimate, as Miles' spidey senses begin to go off, Wasp asks, what's the matter? Nothing. Just every time you say that name, I dunno, I feel like I've heard it before. And whilst Hank is overhearing all of this, he's still having his inner monologue. Is it just me, or is he looking at me funny all of a sudden? Like, he knows something about me I don't. Looking at me with that disgust. Nah, cool it, Hank. You're just getting paranoid. And Janet explains, we have to be careful. There's a war going on. We've been bluffed and bribed our way this far, but we're getting to the place where bribes won't work. And Miles notices, Spidey sense, wait, stop the truck. And before they could do that, a massive explosion happened underneath the car, sending it flying. And we find out it was actually one of the defenses of the walls of Wakanda, and the Dora Milaje come out and say, Giant Man, Wasp, and Jersey Spider-Man, our records indicate that you are known terrorists, and you are approaching sovereign Wakandan territory. Cease and submit to... Ultimate Wasp interrupts her and says, we have to see King T'Challa immediately. With Hank, we think he has something, someone, says Miles. Sorry, someone we need. The Dora Milaje shouts, the terrorists have threatened the king's life. Wait, what? Dora Milaje, engage! The spider wears a vibranium suit, says one of the soldiers. Vibranium nanomesh, actually, but who's counting? As we see, the rest of the team are trying to survive the Dora Milaje's attacks. We see Miles dodging one of the laser beams, we see Ultimate Wasp going giant size, and we see Ultimate Giant Man going to ant size. One of the Dora Milaje goes to inform T'Challa of the situation. My king, there has been a credible threat on your life. We must get you out of... What threat? T'Challa asks. Wanted international terrorists, calling themselves the Ultimates, have attempted to penetrate our border and threaten you by name. One even wields vibranium. We must get you and your family to a secure... No. The Ultimates. Interesting. I've been meaning to speak to them for some time. But my lord, this could be an assassination. Am I a child? A coward? A kitten? No, my lord. No. I am king, servant and protector of the people. I am the Black Panther of Wakanda. I will see to my people, and I will see to this threat. If they wish to kill me, they are welcome to try. But, my lord, I will not die today. There is too much to do and not much time to do it. Now go. And Killmonger says, we will protect the king. I will leave in 3 minutes. If you wish to come, come. Storm wants to go and see, and she tries to hand Billy over to one of the servants and says, watch the girl closely. She is preternaturally precarious. Yes, Wind Rider. Ultimate Black Panther, Storm, and Killmonger fly out in this Wakandan jet, and Killmonger adds, I'm excited to meet these terrorists. Perhaps we can compare tactics. Perhaps, Eric, if we don't all kill each other first. In the next page, we follow up with Ultimate Ant-Man, and here he's trying to assemble an army of ants, but he's still having his internal monologue, and it says, what do we do for the people we love? Anything. We do anything. We cross universes and continents. We brave strange alien landscapes. We fight kings, armies, and monsters. Even if we hate it. Even if we're afraid. Afraid of what they'll do to us. And afraid of what we'll do to them. Ant-Man goes into some detail about his abilities which I do find interesting. At this size, my perceptions are useless, so my helmet starts translating. That's how I know Janet is, at the moment, 4 stories tall and single-handedly holding off a small army. And that Miles kid is making short work of that wall. But beneath their feet, there's another small army, and they listen to me. They speak in smells. My helmet translates the speech into complex pheromonial signal. I used to have nightmares about dying ants, screaming in pain. I actually tried to apologize to them once for millions I killed. Stupid. Even with the helmet, they didn't understand the concept of forgiveness or guilt. For that matter, I stick to simple things. Swarm, bite, consume. As the ants manage to deal with the Wakandan warriors, Ultimate Wasp thanks Hank, and he says in his head, what we do for the people we love. But he looks into the sky and sees a storm coming. Wait, is that a storm? It was a storm. A blue lightning bolt hits the ground in a close proximity to Ant-Man, and we see Ultimate Black Panther, Killmonger, and Storm have arrived to the scene. And Ultimate Black Panther lets him know, Ultimate, your attack on the sovereign nation of Wakanda has been interpreted as an act of war. If you do not stand down, you will face the full military might of the most advanced nation on the earth. And Killmonger adds, no sudden moves, no fluid extrusions or changes in mass. And Miles is trying to talk everybody down, and he's like, hey yo, wait, T'Challa, can we talk for a sec? In the next page, we follow up with Billy, Miles' little sister, and it's about to get really dark. The key is in the pocket, requesting immediate extraction from EX.135. Make sure Director Fury knows it was me, and then we find out it's one of the agents of the Hand, disguised as a Wakandan servant, ditching compromised pseudo-identity, presence masking at maximum. Repeat, Agent 18929-93 is returning to the Beast in possession of the key to the city. But the problem is, the heroes were too late, and Miles knows it. He shouts his sister's name in frustration, and Ultimate Black Panther says, Betrayal. Seal the palace. Who had her last? This can't be happening. I was so close. So close. Even through the mask, you can see him break. Can you blame him? He's come so far for her, only to find she's more out of reach than ever. Ultimate Wasp lets Black Panther know. It's too late to seal anything. Maybe, says Hank. Whoever took her will be long gone. And yes, I am fully aware of... I know who Wasp is. It's all good, folks. I just haven't covered it on the channel yet. And Hank still thinks, I let Jan take the lead, like I always do. Sometimes, like now, I hardly recognize her. Little over a year ago, we were two exterminators from Jersey. Now, she's shaking hands and exchanging strategy with kings and goddesses. And Wasp says, larger alliance, alignment of interests. Hey, I don't care about your wider goals and your strategic partnerships. I just want to find my sister. Forgive us, Jersey Spider-Man. I get it, Miles, but we're fighting a war here. We want to save all of the little children, not just your sister. And whilst Hank is watching this go down, he's having an emotional moment, because his dialogue says, the truth is, she'd probably be better off without me. Sometimes I think about leaving, just disappearing one night without warning. I'd be doing her a favor, but I'm not strong enough. I love her too much. A part of me is wondering if Hank is even human, because a part of me's thinking he's about to get the Nick Fury treatment if you read the one shot. I've loved her for as long as I can remember. Literally, her face is my first memory. When I woke up in the hospital, she was right there next to me, lying in a hospital bed, tears screaming down her face. That's my origin story. Life before that is vague. The man I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be some kind of genius. That's who she fell in love with. This brilliant guy. But I'm the guy who she got stuck with. Ah, now it's all making sense. She was probably the one that made him a retard and probably felt bad about it and looked after him like a little puppy, or she is simply using him purely under strict orders. But she stuck with me anyway. She stuck with me through everything. Through the weakness, the fear, the lying, the denying, the truths I couldn't face, and the choice I tried to take away from her. She stuck with me. So I'll stick with her through anything. Just like Miles won't stop until he finds his sister. At least until one or both of them are dead. And as we catch up with Miles' sister, we see that the agent is still getting away. I am 5 minutes away from the rendezvous point. Please confirm. And before she could finish her sentence, she's stabbed in the chest with a samurai sword. And we find out it was Ultimate Silver Samurai, and he says, the Emperor's lowly servant has taken possession of the anomaly. For the glory of the Emperor, Sunfire, and Haino Kuni. And that is where Ultimate Incursion issue number 2 ends. So that was Ultimate Incursion issue number 2, and personally I've got to say, I'm not really impressed by this issue either. I just wouldn't have went in this direction in including something like an incursion. I'm still worried if the title is still going to be clickbait or not, but when I mean by that, I mean like if there's going to be an actual incursion happening in this story. I don't know, apparently the Maker's Portal tech can somehow do that, I don't know. We were too busy just not really getting a lot of details on what is going on, and really we got more pointless dialogue that didn't really add to anything here. Yeah, we got to see Miles meet T'Challa, and same with Janet and Hank, but I just don't care, bro. Like, this is just not the right way to go about it, and I still don't care about Miles' sister. I don't care about Miles altogether, so having to read a story with this character, you're always never gonna be able to please me. I just don't like Miles. But overall, no, I don't really recommend buying this. It's not a big story that you've been leading to for 2.5 years at this point. You know, at this point, I'm like, yo, when are we actually gonna like get to the big storytelling? I don't care about Miles or his sister. I just want the maker to come back and cause some mayhem. I think there could have been way more creative ways of doing that without having to need Miles Morales or his retarded sister. But anywho, that's all I've really got to say for this video, man. I'm not really enjoying the new Ultimate Universe. I don't have anyone that I actually like from this universe. Like, I just think everybody's just a cheap imitation of 616, and that's really it. I don't have any emotional investment to any character in this universe because it's been written by a leftist. All leftist ways of thinking, and it's like, bro, I don't like your racist Hawkeye. I don't like your reversed racism. I don't like Janet. I don't like Hank being a wimp. You know, I don't like mantle swaps. I don't like race swaps. I don't like the 616 like copy and pasting. I just don't like it as much as the original. When I see people trying to say this new Ultimate Universe is better than the original, I'm like, with what? The storytelling was so much more enjoyable compared to the new one. Like, the original Ultimate Universe, like, their stories were written like blockbuster movies. With each issue, it's just exposition, exposition, small little fight scene, more exposition. This is just boring. Get to the fucking point already. That's my point. But anyway, that's all I've really got to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like. If you didn't, drop a dislike. That's fine. And subscribe if you are new to the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.